Before I call upon the next speaker, Mr. Sylvan Adams, I would like to congratulate him on his recent nomination as President of the World Jewish Congress Israel region. As an Israeli-Canadian businessman and philanthropist, Mr. Adams has made a remarkable impact throughout his groundbreaking activities aimed at strengthening the Jewish state, the Jewish diaspora, and promoting Israel's positive image on the global stage. Most recently, in response to the events of October 7th, he made a historic $100 million donation to Ben-Gurion University in the Negev to booster and rebuild Israel's hard-hit southern region. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sylvan Adams for his keynote address.
Dignitaries, foreign guests and friends, ladies and gentlemen, we are a funny people. We Jews remain deeply divided even in the face of hostile forces which surround us. This approach in ancient times led to the destruction of both of our holy temples. When we are united, we are unmatched. Witness the courageous actions of our people and sacrifice of our brave soldiers since the tragic events of October 7th, 2023. Hamas miscalculated, so did Hezbollah, and especially their patron, Iran. They thought that we would collapse under their vicious and barbaric attack, surrounded by their ring of fire. But when we are attacked, we stand together and cannot be defeated. I'm known in Israel as the guy who calls himself the self-appointed ambassador and tries to show the true face of the country that I know and love, the tolerant, generous, pluralistic, Western democratic nation to which I moved several years ago. Why would I have moved from Canada to a country that did not share those values? My experience with first-time visitors to Israel assures me that they are almost universally surprised and impressed by the country. Through large-scale events in popular activities such as music, culture, and sport, I was able to bring beautiful Israel into the homes of hundreds of millions of television viewers, essentially very large numbers of virtual first-time visitors to Israel via their screens. This surely helped our standing in the world, especially with the people that I call the silent majority. Normal, apolitical fans of music and sport who don't know much about us, but likely have a negative impression due to the actions of the haters and the unidimensional and sometimes very biased media coverage of our complex life here in the Middle East. As of February 18th of this year, the self-appointed ambassador was elected to a new role as president of the Israeli chapter of the World Jewish Congress. In this role, my mission is to work as a unifier and to try to bridge our differences, especially between Israel and its diaspora Jewish communities. The strength of our unity will defeat any enemy, including the anti-Semites. I emphasize, our only Jewish state, Israel, belongs to all Jews, both inside Israel and in the diaspora. Of course, our Jewish state is an inclusive one, with a 20% Arab minority that enjoys equal rights. While we still have a ways to go to fully integrate this minority, I think we've done a much better job than most Western nations that could learn a thing or two from Israel in this regard. I disagree with the critics of this conference who complained about the speaker list. I think that they are too focused on politics, whether someone is left or right-leaning, and labeled an extremist. Anti-Semitism exists on both the left and right, as we are too often reminded. When I moved to Israel, I was asked, Sylvan, are you for the left or the right? My answer was simple. I am Zionist, you tell me. I think these labels misrepresent. In my case, I can be a lefty on some things while taking a more right view on others. The issues are not monolithic, neither is the Jewish community. So I congratulate you, Minister Chikli, for inviting political speakers from all stripes. We Jews need friends, and if members of the right or left dissociate themselves from and call out the anti-Semites, then I am happy that they've agreed to come to Israel to publicly express these views. Some of these parties will win elections in their respective countries, and their support for us will be enormously important. In fact, many Jews have and will vote for these parties and leaders, just as we saw with the re-election of President Donald Trump, who captured a significantly increased share of the Jewish vote in America, even if it was still less than a majority. Monsieur Jordan Bardella, bienvenue et merci énormément d'être venu à Jérusalem. Et pour vos mots puissants à l'égard du peuple juif. A very special thank you to Mr. Jordan Bardella for your visit and your brave words on behalf of the Jews. If you and Marine Le Pen stand up to defend our basic rights and freedoms, I am with you. To the critics in the Jewish communities of Europe and North America who have chosen to boycott this conference, complaining that they should have been consulted regarding the speaker list, it is my job at the WJC to ensure this communication. Please call on me. I can be your bridge to internally discuss these sensitive matters. Let's find common ground and engage new friends. We Jews are not the boycotters. No, it is the haters and the anti-Semites who encourage boycotts of our products, institutions, and our people. Jews are people of the book. We engage in debate, not boycott. So let's talk to each other. I am your bridge. October 7th revealed a latent anti-Semitism throughout the world that we thought had disappeared. This comes from a combination of radical, anti-Israel Muslims and their useful idiot ideological captives. No, they are not pro-Palestinian, as they claim. They don't complain about the apartheid system in Lebanon and Syria, where Palestinians can never get citizenship and are limited to living in ghettos labeled refugee camps. Nor are they pro-Muslim, as likewise, they did not demonstrate against Syria, where Assad killed 600,000 of his own people and displaced millions more. No, these demonstrators just hate Jews. Jews are the only minority against which, it seems, bigotry can be openly expressed in the name of free speech. Had the hateful demonstrations and tent camps that we've seen in the last year and a half been directed toward any other group, say, against the LGBTQ or visible minorities, these would have been shut down in a New York minute. But 3 generations after the post-Holocaust slogan of never again, it is fashionable to be anti-Semitic. As the son of Holocaust surviving parents, I would never have believed this to be possible. As you can see, yes. As you can see from the photos, as a proud Zionist, in other words, Jewish patriot, I too have been targeted for loving my people and our nation state of Israel. These demonstrations are not spontaneous. Led by Qatar, Iran, and more recently China, there has been a 20-year campaign directed against us, funded by trillions of dollars. Beginning with the Qatari propaganda network of Al Jazeera, they also created a massive premeditated campaign to infiltrate Western universities and institutions that pushes an anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, anti-Western ideology that we have seen openly manifested since October the 7th in ugly demonstrations and tent camps. These activities have leaders, paid operatives, by the aforementioned sponsors, I repeat, Qatar, Iran, and China, who organize and fund these hideous activities. So no, Qatar is not our friend. If they were, they would have rounded up the billionaire Hamas scoundrels that they have been protecting. And while we're at it, if not the Qataris, why didn't the Biden administration send a contingent of troops from the large American military base in Doha to arrest Hamas leaders Khaled Meshal and the late Ismail Haniyeh? Considering that Hamas had murdered and kidnapped American citizens on October the 7th. They could have shipped these criminals to Guantanamo Bay. Don't you think this would have been a much better starting point for the negotiation for the release of our hostages? I think whether we support him in all of his policies or not, we can unequivocally thank President Trump for his strong actions on anti-Semitism. Including having recently concluded a deal with Columbia University that my daughter and son-in-law went to regulate campus activity that will constrain these organized anti-Semitic groups. I am confident that given the financial measures that the Trump administration has clairvoyantly imposed, the majority of American universities will likely follow suit and take similar steps to what Columbia has agreed. Perhaps this will also spill over to European institutions. We also thank President Trump and his pro-Israel cabinet for their strong support of Israel. We have never had a better friend in the White House. This should not be a controversial statement in the Jewish world. Finally, and most importantly, we will keep our Jewish values and continue to be a force for good in the world. We suffered unimaginable brutality at the hands of cruel, monstrous Gazans on October the 7th. As we did in the aftermath of this pogrom, I call on all parties, all Jews, to seek common ground and unite. We can defeat any enemy, including anti-Semitism, and continue to be a light unto the world. Am Israel Chai.
you, Mr. Adams.